You bring up a problem. Somehow, 5 minutes later, you're the one explaining yourself. They don't answer what happened. Instead, they tell you the problem is how you reacted. You're sensitive. You're overthinking. You're making a big deal out of nothing. So you back off or you spend the next 20 minutes proving you're not. And either way, what they did never gets addressed. It happens again. And somewhere in there, you stop trusting your own read on things, wondering if maybe you really are the problem. Not every version of this is a red flag. Some people really do just see it differently. But this video is about the 3 patterns where it isn't that, where they dodge the question, turn it into an attack on who you are, or make you doubt your own judgment. You'll learn how to spot each one, the mistake almost everyone makes when it happens, and how to stay out of the trap. Not a script to win the argument, but a way of thinking that holds up no matter what words they use. Purpose 1. Avoiding the question. When someone doesn't want to face what their behavior caused, they don't answer your question at all. They just don't engage with it. You say, "You said you'd tell me if something was wrong, and instead I found out from someone else." They respond, "Why does this even matter?" Or, "Can we not do this right now?" Or simply, "You're overthinking this." The exact phrase doesn't matter. What matters is what's missing. They haven't disagreed with you, haven't explained themselves, haven't answered why they did it. The question just doesn't get touched. The judgment rule. Check whether your question got answered, not whether you got a response. A response and an answer aren't the same thing, no matter what's filled the response. Their move works because it lowers their cost to 0. As long as the question stays unanswered, they never have to say whether they were wrong, whether it affected you, or whether anything needs to change. The common mistake, over-explaining, trying to justify why your question deserves an answer. I'm asking because this happens a lot, and the more you build a case for why the question matters, the more you're negotiating for permission to ask it instead of just asking it again. The goal here isn't to make them answer. It's to not let the question quietly disappear. What that can sound like, something as simple as repeating the question without adding anything to it. Why did I have to find out from someone else and not from you? Or refusing to move on until it's addressed. We can talk about anything else after you answer this. The wording is yours to find in the moment. The principle is the same either way. Don't let the conversation move forward without your question still on the table. Purpose 2. Turning the problem into you. This goes one step further. They don't dodge the question, they answer it, just not about the behavior. Instead of judging what they did, they hand down a verdict on what kind of person you are for asking. You say, "You keep canceling plans at the last minute." They respond, "You're so controlling." You say, "That comment really got to me." They respond, "You're just insecure." Again, the specific label isn't the point. It could be any word. What's the same every time is the substitution. "Did you cancel?" becomes, "Why are you like this?" The judgment rule. Check who's being discussed by the end of the conversation. A normal disagreement stays on the behavior. This pattern moves the discussion onto you. This works because it puts you in a defensive position. You started by asking them to explain something. Now you're the one proving you're not controlling, not insecure, not demanding, and the original question has quietly lost its seat at the table. The common mistake, arguing against the label directly. "I'm not controlling, I just want..." The instant you do this, you've accepted their new topic. You're debating your character instead of the behavior that started this. The goal isn't to win the argument about whether the label is true. It's to refuse to let the label stand in for an answer. Something like, "Whether you think I'm controlling doesn't answer what happened." Then return to the original question. What you say can vary. What can't vary is that you name the label as a non-answer before you let the conversation move anywhere else. Purpose 3. Making you doubt your own judgment. This is the furthest point. They're not avoiding you, and they're not just labeling you. They're going after something underneath both your confidence that your own read of the situation is even correct. An opinion sounds like, "I don't think this was a big deal." This sounds like, "You shouldn't feel this way about it." The first lets 2 people see things differently. The second isn't trying to change your mind. It's trying to get you to stop trusting your own interpretation of what happened. You say, "That hurt me." They respond, "Nobody else would be upset about this." You say, "I felt disrespected when you said that." They respond, "That wasn't disrespectful. You're just taking it the wrong way." The judgment rule. Check whether they're disagreeing with your read or telling you your read itself is broken. This works because once you start doubting your own interpretation, you stop trusting yourself enough to hold them accountable for anything. Not just this, but next time too. The common mistake: trying to prove your reaction is normal. Other people would feel the same way. The moment you say this, you've accepted their real game. Whoever represents normal wins, instead of whether the behavior itself was okay. Quieter version of the same mistake, asking for their understanding. Can you see why I feel this way? This one is easy to miss because it feels reasonable, but it hands them the role of judge over whether your own experience counts. The goal here isn't to get them to agree your feeling is valid. It's to stop needing their agreement at all. That might sound like, would you consider it reasonable if someone did the same thing to you? Or, you don't have to agree with my reaction, but you don't get to decide whether I'm allowed to have it. Again, the phrasing is just an example. The principle is what carries. Don't apply for permission to feel something, and don't accept a standard that only runs one way. Because the real power of "you're too sensitive" was never the phrase. It's what it gets you to do next. Spend your energy proving yourself while they never have to answer for anything.